can't get out of this vein of truth. Verse 15. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken. It's interesting that he traced Jesus being a prophet, or raising up to Jesus as a prophet. He basically makes it look like that was the request. Although they didn't know what all they were asking for. He says in the next verse, according to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God, in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God. Neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. So I understand this, that God's going to raise him up a prophet according to their desire. That's what they wanted. And it says in the next verse, and the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. We've gotten near this a couple of times. In the first service, as a congregation, God was the speaker. And it was a scary affair. So that direction is again. I don't want to labor it. I don't want to pass it over here. Exodus 19. Now they just made a deal with God, and God made a deal with them called a covenant. And the covenant was in verse 5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine. It shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord hath spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people to the Lord. Now, as you know, they didn't do that. They broke the deal. And so God told them, you should know my breach of covenant, I'm going to break my deal with you. And that's why they were destroying the wilderness. And the Lord said unto Moses, lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people to the Lord. The cloud, for one reason. so they could not see him. That's why Jesus, when he came after John was thrown in jail, he asked the question, what went y'all for to see? He was actually, I think what the word is, getting them straight in a negative kind of way. Church and God should not be a visual experience. I've looked at these TV ministries when they accustomed came in the audience. Their heads in the wrong place already, because the audience had nothing to do with it at all. Preachers preaching, they hand the audience if their responsive is. Shouldn't matter. God was so concerned about them hearing him, he said, I want to come out of the thick cloud, that they may hear when I speak with thee. So it doesn't get around me. People are real quick. God spoke to them. Now look before he can yell out.
$5.22.
$5.22. Chapter territory, number 6. Yeah. 5:22. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount, out of the midst of the fire, of a cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice. And he added, no more. He's saying here not that he didn't add any more words, he's saying that he didn't add any more expressions to them. He didn't give a face. He just gave a voice and added no more than a voice. And it came to pass, when you heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, where the mountain did burn with fire, that you came near to me, even all the heads of your tribes and your elders, and you said, behold, the Lord our God hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that God doth talk with man, and he liveth. Now therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of the Lord our God anymore, then we shall die. For who is there of all flesh that hath heard the voice of the living God, speaking out of the midst of the fire, as we have, and lived? Go down there and hear all that the Lord our God shall say. You go listen to God. And speak thou unto us all the Lord our God shall speak unto thee, and we will hear it, and do it. And the Lord heard the voices of your words when you spake unto me, and the Lord said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto thee. They have well said all that they have spoken. Oh, that there were such an heart in them, that they would fear me, and keep all my commandments, always, that it might be well with them, with their children, forever. They asked for this. Just like Moses told them in the 18th chapter. The Lord thy God will raise up a prophet unto thee, a prophet, because you asked for one. I wish sometimes that this one time God would speak to us live. I think it changed everybody. Totally. We'd never be the same again. We would have a different respect for God, His voice, and His word forever. We should have it now, but I'm not God. So you can have respect for me as much as I am. That's what they had with Moses. But he says the Lord's going to raise up one. Because you desired the Lord thy God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God. Let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. We can't begin to imagine what that was like. The mountain, you read the scripture, in Exodus, it was on the smoke, mountain was smoking, a black cloud came down and covered the mountain. He told Moses to put a border or boundary around the mountain, lest any person or their beast went past this boundary and he said have to kill them. Lightning, thunders, the kind of lightning and thunder you get in those major thunderstorms. The kind of lightning when it cracks, it catches your attention. You kind of like just chill for a second and wonder what it hit. And what it did. I was flying one time in a storm, and of course the pilot went above the storm. But I'd never seen continuous lightning before. I'm not talking about a lot of flashes, I'm talking about continuous lightning. It never turned off. The sky just lit up with continuous lightning. I imagine it was like this on that day. There's the sound of the trumpet. It said it waxed louder and louder and louder. It became so loud that you couldn't hear the voice of the person next to you, which is exactly what God wanted. He expects you, when He's speaking, not to hear the person next to you. That's kind of demanding what's for His words, because we're undivided attention. And we don't do it with God, but we should, you know? So we just might just say something and then we miss His words. And that's not bad for the grace of God and the mercy of God. Because this guy back here, he's taking you out. We're just making a comment on what he's saying. You can't, it's been proven, we can't do two things at one time. I think we can. We can alternate back and forth quickly. Some folks quicker than others. But you cannot speak and hear at the same time. So I can do it and others can't. And you miss something. Say something wrong or miss something, but it can't be done. And God, if it can be done, God doesn't want it done. This trumpet got to be deafening. And the mountain was quaking. Continuous earthquake around this mountain. Mountains can be scary things about themselves to me. A high rock mountain, you know. You feel real little here before the great mountain. There before all these things, and all these things here was simply the introduction for God. At the fire. After witnessing this, I don't know if they had an offering time or intermission or what, but the heads of the different tribes went to Moses and said, don't let God talk to us anymore, or we're going to die. The way I can visualize it is that as he spoke, the fire came out. There we were. And the fire kept getting closer and closer to them, to such a point where it says in Hebrews Our God is a consuming fire. His voice had the ability to consume them. And they kept backing up. Everybody told Moses, don't let us hear again the voice of the Lord like my God. Neither let me see this great fire anymore. But I lie not, and the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken, that which they have spoken. I'll raise up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee. I'll put my words in his mouth. He shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. This shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. Now, they probably thought that they're getting off easy. Having Moses talk to them, or Aaron. They probably weren't around when God made the deal with Aaron and Moses, because Moses says, well, he couldn't speak. So God said, I know Aaron can speak. Just okay, I'll take Aaron with you. He said, Aaron shall be to you. Come out. You know, all the time gangsters, when they go to court, they sit there and they're giving a mouthpiece, referring to a lawyer. Right? He said, Moses, Aaron be your mouth. And you'll be unto Aaron God. I wonder about Aaron many times after God set those terms. He told Moses, told Aaron, your brother's no longer Moses to you, he's God. I think it's in your family that God said it to you about, and how would you react to it, right? That's why in the 12th chapter of Numbers, when Aaron and Miriam were talking against Moses, God came down and the question he asked him, turn here. Numbers 12. When Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. Where he had married an Ethiopian woman. Now I've got to address the issue. Verse 6. And he said, hear not my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak to him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, or realistically, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Here's the line. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Because for Aaron and Miriam to speak against Moses was speaking against God. And God took it personal. So he came down to the cloud of the tabernacle, came down to the ground, and caught them all forward. And said, why aren't you afraid? What's interesting in this passage is that he never does address the issue they addressed. It was an issue with God. His issue is, will his prophet speak his word and will you hear it? Bottom line, that's where God's coming from. Right? So he said, you asked well. Back in Deuteronomy 17. And the Lord said to me, they are well spoken, that which they have spoken. I don't know about you, but I'm glad to have Jesus as a speaker to us. Because God would have killed all of us a long time ago. No? He would have. I mean, he's showing you, again, he's saying, this is me. I'm thunder, I'm lightning, I'm fire, I'm quaking, I'm a trumpet. This is me. With whom you have to do. After one service, they decided we don't want God like that.